Okay, so in today's video about JasmyCoin, I want to talk about this part of the price action specifically and talk to you about an unfortunately bearish sign that happened recently and tell you what might be next and what am I looking for in terms of structures. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And if you remember in the previous videos in JasmyCoin, I was saying, look, I'm kind of convinced that we are dealing in this move on the upside with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure up. And that's why I said, look, taking this low right in here is kind of going to invalidate a lot of bullish scenarios. Why is that? You see, in terms of Elliott waves, if you want to argue that, for example, we're going to have our final bottom around here, let's say this is like a very important support region, then okay, we must be able to find off of the lowest line here a 5 wave on the upside. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So we talked about it, I believe, also in the previous videos. In this phase up, I can definitely show you a 5 wave impulsive structure followed by that a correction, probably an ABC or maybe a WXY in form of a double zigzag, doesn't really matter. Point is, this is definitely a correction structure, and after it another 5 wave on the upside. And I was saying, well, okay, as long as we're not taking this low, we can be optimistic and say maybe we are having like 1, 2 and then 3, 4, 5, which is going to be into a larger degree, wave 3 and then 4 and then 5. However, I said if we take this low, that's actually going to be a very bad sign, because if you want to say at that point, well, okay, maybe this is going to be 5 wave up into a wave 1, and this whole move down starting from this point and ending to somewhere around the recent price action is going to be a correction for 2, then okay, what kind of a pattern in here are we going to have? Are you going to say that this is, for example, an A, B, C in form of possibly an expanded flat? And in that case, well, okay, for our B leg, we must have an ABC zigzag and not a 5 wave on the upside. Are you going to say that maybe this is like, yeah, sure, let's say a WXY structure? Then okay, even in this scenario for our wave X, we must have some sort of a corrective movement and not an ABC zigzag. And that's why taking this low was so important for me in the previous videos. And now let's zoom in more and see what is happening in here. There we go. As you can see, unfortunately, right in here in this candlestick, we have definitely taken this low, which is not a good sign. Now, I guess, find some sort of a corrective movement in order for me to be able to say, maybe, you know what, this whole move down is just part of a correction structure. However, for now, I definitely prefer to not be that optimistic, and I'm going to, for now at least, take everything step by step. So what's my primary scenario? Well, in terms of overall structures, I fully believe that we are still looking fantastic and bullish for the next couple of months. However, in the short term, I'm going to argue that we might actually continue this move down in order to take this low. Does this mean that we can actually in here find a short opportunity? Absolutely 100% not. Why is that? Let's say, well, okay, we're going to go short right in here. Where is going to be our stop loss? Well, naturally, it's going to be above this high around, let's say, 4.1 cents. Now, where is going to be our target? You know it. It's going to be right around the lowest low in this region, about 2.8 cents. So what's going to happen? We are going to have a risk to reward ratio of about, I believe, 1.5 to 1, which is terrible. So you see, although I do think that we might get another move down in the short term in JasmyCoin, I fully believe that we really shouldn't go short in here. Now, here's the deal. There is a possibility which in it I might be able to say that we are bullish, but that scenario requires JasmyCoin to, in the next couple of days, just hang around in here or maybe have another move on the upside. If we see something like this, okay, at that point, I can definitely find a bullish possibility. But if we continue our move down and do something like this, then okay, you know it, we are going to take this low. And again, I want to be very clear. I don't believe that after taking this thing, we are going to go a hell of a lot lower. No, I am counting on a very solid bounce back from this very important broken resistance area And I'm thinking that this might act now as a very strong support region and send us up in order to have the next phase of the bull run, which in it we are going to definitely take the highest side in this region for the first target around 6 cents. And again, I believe we're not going to stop here. We're going to go quite a bit more higher than that. Who knows, maybe to somewhere around the 10 cents area. So the overall picture for the next couple of months is absolutely 100% bullish. However, in the short term, I need you to be open to the possibility of having another move on the downside. And even this thing is not guaranteed. But for now, based on the signs that I'm seeing in this area, meaning that we took actually this low, I'm going to argue we might have another move on the downside. Now, let's check out indicators and see what is going on. And let's start by checking daily time frames, so and more. Okay. So what do we have? Unfortunately, sell signals in MACD and stock RSI at the same time, which is definitely not a good sign. And in weekly time frame, what's happening? Well, okay, this is actually better because in MACD, we are having a buy signal. And in terms of momentums, we are definitely in the positives. So we can argue there's a good chance that our bull run in JasmyCoin may not be over. However, at the same time, in stock RSI, we got a sell signal somewhere around the overbought region, which suggests that this does actually have quite a bit of validity. So what's the planning here? In JasmyCoin, in the next week or two, we might have another move on the downside, but after it, again, I am counting on a very strong bounce back since we are having in here still a buy signal in MACD. And if you want to be bullish with a hell of a lot more confidence and you just do not want to be involved in any kind of short-term price action, I would argue you need to wait a bit more and see a buy signal in MACD and stock RSI at the same time. And at that point, you can argue with a lot of confidence that our move up is going to continue. And the first step, I guess, can be having buy signals in these two indicators in daily time frame. But for now, as you can see in here, the situation is not really looking optimistic. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. In JasmyCoin, because in the last, I think 48 hours, we took this low. Now I'm going to argue maybe this is an ABC zigzag and this move down can technically continue a bit more. And in it, we might take the lowest low in here about 2.8 cents. Does this mean at that point we're going to go quite lower? I don't think so. I'm thinking it's kind of unlikely. And after setting another lower low, and again, not going a lot lower, I'm expecting a very strong bounce back in form of, you know what, a 5-wave impulsive structure in order to start the next phase of the bull run. And again, I want to be very clear. Even this is not guaranteed. There is no certainty in any market. We cannot say anything for sure, but this is all I have to say. Based on what I'm seeing in JasmyCoin's chart, I think if you want to go long, there are definitely much better charts that are looking great just in the short term. In the mid to long term, in JasmyCoin, everything is okay. And I just don't believe that our bull run is over. And we can argue, well, okay, maybe this is like a 1, 2, and then we are going to have big move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree is going to be into a larger degree, wave 3, and then 4, and then 5. I'm thinking this scenario can definitely still be in play. And as long as I'm not proven otherwise, I'm not going to change my primary case to the bearish one that suggests the bull run is over. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in JasmyCoin's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.